And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning and welcome to the Market Prep. It is Tuesday, January the 10th. My name is John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. As always, our focus is on accurate context, good risk management, and always remaining patient in our trading. This morning at 8 o'clock, Chairman Powell is due to speak, apparently at some panel in Sweden. Who knows if he's going to say anything impactful, but we know all ears and eyes will be on him. 9 o'clock this morning, wholesale inventories, the preliminary number coming out. Again, it's usually one of the lesser impactful numbers, but we never know how these markets are going to react. Speaking of the markets this morning, stocks holding and awaiting the Fed Chair Powell's speech, set to open lower after giving up some pretty substantial gains yesterday. Fed members Bostic and Daly rang a little bit hawkish tones yesterday, squashing the early gains. With little economic data today, kind of Powell is a one-man show and largely going to be the focus today, although expectations of anything impactful coming from him are relatively low, but we never know. Crude prices are steady, awaiting the API information today, EIA tomorrow, as the battle between supply and demand continues in that market. Looks like we may be setting up a bear flag. We'll see that in the charts very shortly. The VIX this morning up about 2%, 22.4 index, up off its monthly low this morning at 103.42. And even the yield on the 10-year is higher this morning, 3.6% as usual. Make sure you hit that lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome here on the Market Prep. And subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified when we do go live. We do have Make Hoag Money right after the forecast this morning. It's the early session here on Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. You will be able to watch it on YouTube. However, you won't be able to vote for the trades we take on YouTube. If you're in the Zoom meeting, you will have the opportunity to vote. Always a good time. See if we can't make me a little bit of money. Good morning. White House Cap is the first one in the room and winning the prize this morning. Shaw Cunningham, good morning. Scott saw and he conquered. Dan Trader, good morning, Shaw. Powell is taking part in a panel discussion in a symposium in Sweden. Unlikely to say anything important, right? Right? We don't know, Sean. We don't know. T. Armitage, hello, Tanya. It's good to see you. Malachi, the Malachi Crunch, Malachi Bond is here. Caprice, good morning. Dan Trader, Backer Sultan, my brother Tom is here. Good to see you. Love you. I'll send you a picture of the new equipment later on. Charles March, Mike Russell, Alfonso, James Sandu. Great day for everyone. Love the positivity. Good morning, everyone. Joel MB. Jamie Decker singing songs already, the NFL song. Are you ready for some football? I'm sorry, today's competition. We are ready, I hope. Rick, the Randolph to my Mortimer, the Winthorpe to my Valentine. Good morning, love you. Hagel Matters, Caesar, Vince, my guy, good to see you. Andrew, George. Lacey is right here next to me. Everyone saying good morning, Lacey. She's probably sound asleep, really kind of uninterested right now. JM, good morning. Terrence, Andy, good morning. Travis, ZK, good morning. Put up my own pre-market on Discord. Would love to hear on how to improve. ZK, thank you. Anissa, JD, it's good to see you this morning. Serenity Trader, Spencer Rhodes. So let's get you to buy a sauna. Get a sauna in your backyard or your garage. You don't have to sweat it out. Sweat it all out here, right? Right. Sniper Scalper. This is my e-mini only if on Discord, if anyone's interested. Marcelo, Chart Language. Jules, Rooster, crowing already. JT, good morning. James, Sarah Hall, prayers and love to you as well. Frozen Gumwad, good morning, Frozen Gumwad. There is going to be a lot of pie in the face today. Pies in the face today. I hope not. Sometimes, Backer, she does. She'll come up sometimes if she's needs something or just wants a pet. I don't think that she's interested in getting up right now. Lacey, or you want to come up and say hi? No, she says just to say hello to everyone. But sometimes she does pop up here and say hello. We'll get that happening soon here, Backer. All right. Lacey, stay off the forbidden couch, right? Chart, love you too. Sniper Scalper, formerly Fishing Futures. Good to see you. Excellent. Well, Grounds Hero, good morning. Rob T, good morning. Sniper Scalper, I'm glad that you do enjoy the show every day. That's why I'm here, and it's very important that you enjoy what you see here and that you have get some decent information. And again, it's really all about context. We're not trying to forecast anything. We're trying to look at what the market is saying to us. Trying to listen to the market, not forecast it. Some sweet, healthy thing my doctor wants me to do. No exercise, just sauna and cold box. Strange. After a recent update, I have a dead space in my chart where an indicator would be. If you are on TS Trader ZK, click on one of the charts and then hit F5, and that will kind of reboot the platform without logging out. Maybe that's going to help you. T Armitage, good. Tanya, I'm glad. Gee, J-Pal gives me anxieties every week with this stuff, right? Sniper Scalper, good. Awesome. Well, you can also join for Make Hogue Money after the forecast as well. We look forward to seeing you there. And this is an opportunity for you traders to suggest trades, to talk about context, to talk about trades, and to perhaps take them, vote for them, take them, and see if you can't make me a little bit of money. We always have a good time with this. All right. So in the spirit of getting to Make Hogue Money relatively quickly this morning, or at least on time, is your brother an owner, the company that sent me an email about instant pay-by deal? No. Unfortunately, didn't work. Maybe then restart the platform. Sometimes that happens to me, ZK, but usually if I just hit F5, that tends to work for me. Well, which short support should I get a hold of? You can email support@topstep.com. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. So the Monday and Wednesday are the afternoon sessions. The link that I'm going to put in again right now are the Tuesday, Thursday early sessions. About 8:20 we try and get in there. Pretty sure this is right. Yes, that's the 8 a.m. I'll give you the Monday and Wednesday late sessions. Those are at 2 o'clock to catch the close. So we catch the open twice a week and the close twice a week. And here's the link for the afternoon sessions. Again, Monday and Wednesday, the afternoon sessions. Tuesday and Thursday, the early sessions. I know it's a bummer that there has to be 2 links, but I'm afraid that that seems to be, at least with my knowledge, how Zoom works. But you can always watch them on YouTube. You can even check them out later on YouTube after the fact. Good morning, Ted. Deal Instant Pay. He's not the owner, my brother is not the owner of that company, but we are now starting to pay through Deal. So that email that you got from Top Step is true. All right. Stocks, good morning. Too Humble, you're welcome. Razmik, good morning. Fries, good morning. All right. Let's jump into the charts and start here with the mini S&Ps and see what we're looking at. Man, I had some really high hopes for some continuation to the upside above our area of balance yet. And it really looked like it was likely to continue until the Fed started talking and they squashed everything. One thing that was pointed out to us yesterday in the recap, in the reflection by our good fella Vince on the continuation chart, you got to do this sometimes. The high was put in yesterday by the 200 session moving average. Let me drag this all the way over here. So there's the 200 session moving average in its right position. Traded right up to it. Then the Fed started speaking, and that just was enough to take this all back and then some. So when we take a look at the excess that we've seen on the daily chart in the past, here's some pretty serious excess and continuation after that excess. When we take a look down here, excess, some continuation along that excess. So this rejection above this area of balance has shown us that the market is rejecting those higher prices. We're back inside balance. It's possible for this market to kind of rotate back to the low of balance, back inside this area of balance for a period of time. Thank you again, our good fella friend Vince, on pointing out that 200 session moving average was there yesterday and would have been a decent exit for longs or even an opportunity to take a short. What does that mean for us today? Well, yesterday, volume was a little bit lower, and the open interest is absolutely flat. There was no change in open interest. What does that tell us? Well, we got a little bit too long, and we got a little bit out of those longs yesterday when the open interest ends up being flat. So our hopes for a rally are squashed, even just for the time being. Today, we have a late spike that occurred at the end of the session yesterday. Let me clean this up a little bit here. Okay. So we had the initial balance at the low of the session to a point. Once that initial balance broke, we started to become directional to the downside actually long before that. But this is the area that I'm really interested in up here. The late spike. What is a late spike? A late spike is a move late in the session that does not have the opportunity to find acceptance in the regular trading hours that day. So it seeks to find acceptance or rejection of those levels the next session. So we've got a late spike. The base of it is 39.17, right about here. But there's also kind of a secondary start when we broke out below the initial balance up here around 39.28. So these will both be areas of interest to me should price give us the opportunity to see how it acts at those levels. So we're opening below the late spike with pretty good high probability. We're going to see that in Make Hogue Money. which indicates one of the higher probabilities of acceptance of lower pricing. It doesn't mean price has to go straight down. It can go to the base of the late spike. I can even see it coming back to this area up here, which is last week's high, which is where the late spike truly started. So now we've also got some overnight inventory to the short side that is currently being reconciled. We may have Powell speaking already here. It's 8 o'clock, so I don't know if his speech is being released. But we're already seeing our short time frame traders on the short side reconciling. Yeah, so he's speaking now. So it's already reconciling. So if we, end up opening in the late spike, that's the secondary probability of continuation of acceptance of lower pricing. So we'll see this on the open. The late spike is always interesting. One of the things that I wanted to point out to everybody overall today, only 3 of our 7 markets that we look at had an initial balance that remained the high or the low yesterday. As soon as I start talking about something, the market loves to make a liar out of me. So yesterday on the TPO chart, we can see the initial balance is this light blue here. It extended to the upside. When we broke out below it, that IB, extreme high or extreme low, obviously was taken away. So here's where we currently are, 39.03. We've got to come all the way back up to 9.11, 39.12 approximately to get back into the late spike. This is the late spike, this M period extension that we closed in. Looking at the base of the base of the initial balance yesterday as kind of where this started, where this move started. It didn't have time to accept over time the lower pricing that we were in. It was continuing to push lower. So I'm going to be looking to see if we open lower. That's the highest acceptance of lower pricing. We may look for an opening range trade today in the S&Ps. Here's the crude oil. We're in rollover. We added 20,000 contracts overall. We lost 15,000 in February. So we've got a pretty decent boost in open interest. And a lot of that can be related directly to rollover. You've got a lot of traders that are working spreads, trying to leg spreads to get out of the current February contract into future contracts. It makes the tools or the pieces of the auction process a lot more difficult to read. So we've been now a little bit rangy for a few days, or 3 or 4 days, but it seems as though we may be starting to form a bear flag. From what I'm reading today, there's a little bit of support here by increasing Indian and Chinese demand, all of that, blah, blah, blah. Inventory, API and EIA pending tonight and tomorrow. Here's the 30-minute chart. Here's where we're looking at as the bear flag. We can see on the daily, price has come down to this. A bear flag is smaller ranges on lower volume, and then a breakout down below would indicate some continuation. Here's the 30 again. Where are we? We're right in the middle of range. No real overnight inventory. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. So I'm going to try and stay patient today. My focus is really going to be on is if we can accept below this trend line. And this is a loose trend line. Trust me, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 points of contact right here, but now it seems to be a little bit blurry. So, this trend line and our overnight low look like important levels for executions. And if we find support at yesterday's value low, there's plenty of space for us to get back up and look at weekly kickoff highs. So this whole area here is important to me for executions. On the TPO chart, we almost have a bit of a double distribution here. So we've opened and gone into the area that bodes for repair. So I'm going to see this market probably trade to an assumed point of control in this upper distribution of time and volume, which puts us up to about here. I will call that a completed repair because we traded to an assumed point of control in this lower distribution. We're trading to an assumed point of control in this upper distribution. I'm going to stay calm, stay cool, stay collected, and look for bigger opportunities at the extremes of the current channel, or as we like to call it, the current dannel that we are in. Yesterday, neither the high nor the low of the initial balance maintained the high or the low of the regular trading hour session. Again, markets love to make a liar out of me. Here's the NASDAQ. LMB. The official language is blah, blah, blah. That is an industry term, by the way. An industry term, blah, blah, blah. All right. Rejection of weekly kickoff high yesterday. The market, NASDAQ is similar but different than the S&Ps. Back inside of balance. Volume and open interest yesterday were unremarkable, losing about 400 in open interest. So very similar to the S&Ps as far as the creation or evaporation of contracts yesterday. Take a look at the 30. We also have the late spike. Okay, the late spike here in the NASDAQ. The base of it is 11,193. The low of the initial balance is where this breakout started. So this 11, what is it? Oh, the base 11,193 is going to be important. It's just short of our overnight high. We still have last week's high in play. Overnight inventory being adjusted as we speak. I don't know how, but I failed to put settlement on this. Settlement in the NASDAQ is 11,185.50. I'm just going to slap it on here just so we see kind of where it is. So now, in the NASDAQ at least, it looks like if we were to open now, we would be in the late spike, which is a kind of a secondary high probability of acceptance of lower pricing. This could be a completely different situation by the time we see the open. Gold. It looks like our upside structure is good. Open interest continues strong. We added 13,000 contracts yesterday on the estimated open interest. Volume fell off a little bit, but then gold volume tends to waffle. Inside extended trading hour range currently is still true. And again, upside structure remains. Well, overnight inventory has been accumulated and evaporated several times. We've opened in range, driving into value. We just took out our overnight high on this move to the upside, but still there's very little change in the perception of value of an ounce of gold here. So I'm going to try and stay patient. Here's the TPO chart. Yesterday we had some pretty decent excess at the high, kind of a smaller range. Did we have any good delta at the end of the day yesterday? Not really. Nothing that I would call divergent. So here's that TPO chart here again. Narrow range, inside extended trading hour range, inside regular trading hour range for the regular trading hours. You're going to stay patient. The euro. Just saw my brother was saying the dollar is starting to come off a little bit off its highs here, which I see that it is. We've got an acceptance close above weekly kickoff high, which can take this market back into its upside move. We've been adjusting inventory here for about 2 weeks. Here's that 30-minute chart. We did add to 9,100 contracts yesterday on this move to the upside. It's a pretty substantial increase in open interest at a new price level, holding above weekly kickoff high in the overnight, seeing the dollar pulling off, seeing price going back into value. It does encourage patience. If I'm looking for longs, I'm going to try and get into this close to the overnight low, as close to this weekly kickoff low as possible. That opportunity may have already left. Settlement is all the way up here, 107.99.5 ticks. Overnight inventory, however, is mixed. So mixed inventory inside value equals kind of stay patient, but we are near an important inflection level, and this is an area where I would certainly be thinking about throwing in a line. See if I can catch a nice fish. The 10-year kind of bouncing back and forth here between weekly kickoff highs and weekly kickoff lows. We did add 17,600. No real acceptance above weekly kickoff high yesterday. Open interest, that increase in open interest yesterday indicates the possibility of some trapped longs, some laggards getting in late. We are inside extended trading hour range here. Here's the 30. We did close above that level. However, we could not maintain it. We've got some overnight inventory to the short side that seems to be reconciling as we speak, bringing price back into range, back into value. We did open outside the area of possible repair that we see here on the TPO chart. Okay, here's the double distribution trend day yesterday. We opened below, but if we show signs of acceptance back inside range and value from yesterday, we could easily repair this lack of volume here with a move up to this point of control. We have to reaccept above this assumed TPO point of control for this lower distribution for that to come true. And a quick look at the natural gas. Downside structure remains. We added 1,200 contracts in open interest yesterday on good volume on an attempt at the upside, but was pretty swiftly rejected and continuing to show rejection today. We've got a little bit of a bear flag forming here. Take a look on the 30. So if this is a bear flag, we are at risk of breaking below that bear flag and looking really for short opportunities and unless we reaccept above this trend line. And again, this is a tricky trend line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of contact here. Is that tricky? What if we were to go off the regular trading hours? We're already below that trend line. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity to sell strength until proven wrong, and anything can happen. ACH. Let's see here where we got here in the S&Ps. So yeah, we're going to see where we open in Make-Hogue Money. This might be an interesting Make-Hogue Money. I mean, I hope that they all are, but I think this might be one of the more interesting and hopefully bigger opportunities for Make-Hogue Money. I look forward to seeing you all there. If I don't see you all there, we'll see you for the Coach's Playbook. We're going to be talking about why we tend to hold our losses for too long. Should be a really good one. And after that, again, we'll see you for the market reflection at 3 p.m. today. Get out there and profit. Take your deep breath with me. Stay humble, creative, and grateful in your trading today. Make sure you stay centered. If you get on tilt, walk away. You know you're putting yourself at greater risk when we do that. So get out there and profit today. If I don't see you, trade well. Look forward to seeing you later on. Have a great day.